Can you hear me? Air Canada 290, hi. We're still a bit of ways away, but we're starting our descent. We're at flight level 27 and looking to come on Aylex 32 via the Capital 5 SID. Sorry, start.
Air Can 290 Rogers, so information Juliet in Ottawa, altimeter 297, and you can let me know which approach you prefer already.
Yeah, so we're looking at doing the Capital 5 approach with the nouveau transition. Aylex, runway 32.
Indian Parrot 101, welcome to the stream, nice to see you. We are controlling Ottawa Terminal this evening on Vatsim. So we're gonna get some, already see some relatively good traffic, so should be pretty good. And yeah, let me just set the tower view.
Hello, this is FedEx 193 Heavy Information Juliet. We're at the FedEx cargo ramp. Requesting our IFR over to Toronto Pearson, please.
And FedEx 193 Heavy Ottawa departures, good evening. You're cleared to Toronto via the Ottawa 4 departure. Flight planned route, runway 25, squawk 6501, departure frequency 135.15.
Would it be possible to request runway 32 for departure, FedEx 193?
FedEx 193 affirm, so expect runway 32 for departure.
Okay, so we are cleared to Toronto Pearson via the Ottawa 4 departure, then flight plan route. Departure runway will be 32, squawk 6501, departure frequency 135.150, FedEx 193.
FedEx 193, be back correct. Information Juliet, call for taxi.
Call ready for taxi, FedEx 193, thanks.
Okay, there you go. So we have a FedEx departure heading to Toronto. There's not a lot of controls around us, but it's not necessarily a bad thing because people tend to concentrate a bit more on Ottawa. While when there's other airports online, they prefer going to bigger ones. So it's not as bad. We'll see what traffic we get, but for now we got at least 5 arrivals, I think, and some departures as well. So yeah, I'm gonna put some music here as well. Just give me 1 second. Ottawa is actually goated. Well, yeah, no, it's a nice airport for sure. It's definitely a nice airport. It's a bit smaller than maybe what some people would be used to, but you know, you can still get some really interesting flights, and it's pretty well located as well. In between Toronto, Ottawa, Boston, and stuff. So yeah, so this guy, Aircan 290, he called me earlier. He was a bit far, so I'm going to give him a squawk code just to identify him, because that's one of the ways you identify an aircraft is by giving them a squawk code, and that way you're sure you're talking to the correct aircraft that you think is appearing on radar. There are multiple ways to identify an aircraft, but that's one of the principal or main ways. Okay, so I'm going to give this point a squawk code now. So There you go. Aircan 290, recycle your transponder to code 1136.
Squawk 1336.
That's 1136.
1136.
There you go. So now we got the tag. I can take jurisdiction. Air Canada 290, so descent 6,000.
Sorry, did you say descend to 6,000 or Canada 290?
Affirm.
Affirm, Roger.
So the reason I give him 6,000 feet is because there are possible departures out of 2.5, which have a departure that climb up to 5,000 feet, and I want to always keep a 1,000 feet separation. So as soon as he turns maybe a bit 1 mile after Weissel, I'll give him lower, so probably to 3,000 feet. And I'm not sure why I have the wrong runway here. That should be 3.2, not 1.4. So he's doing the ILS 1.32. I'm not going to give him the Volac transition. I'm just going to vector him in just to practice. I'm new to VATCAN and I'm training for my S1. After that, I'll transfer to Montreal and try to do my rest of my training. Any tips? Nice. Cool. Well, first of all, welcome to VATCAN. That's very nice. So if you're going to Montreal, I assume you speak French since it's a bilingual flight region. So yeah, S1 I think is just you have your theory test and then you need to transfer to your first region. So Montreal is really cool. I definitely recommend, as long as you speak French, of course, because it's mandatory. So let's see where our FedEx is. Here's the ground radar. He's parked right here. I gave him 2.5 initially. Give him 2.5 initially because it's pretty close, but 3.2 works as well. 2.5 and 3.2 are our two departures runway. This evening we have winds 320 at 6, so it's a bit of a crosswind from the right side for 2.5, but it's calm winds, so we'll be fine. Je parle français, ben parfait. Voilà, tout simplement, c'est ce qu'il faut. Donc, oui, absolument. Alors, c'est une belle communauté à Montréal, et puis franchement, c'est une belle région, très professionnelle, on va dire. Dans le sens où c'est quand même très réaliste. Et enfin, on essaie d'être vraiment le plus réaliste possible dans les procédures et tout, où il y a des bons instructeurs et tout, donc c'est vraiment bien. Bienvenue à la firme Montréal déjà. Je sais pas si tu as déjà le serveur. Discord pour Montréal. C'est. Sinon, je peux te donner le lien là, mais ça peut être un bon endroit où discuter déjà à l'avance un petit peu avec les autres contrôleurs. T'es dedans, mais t'as pas accès au chat. Ok. C'est. Ben, je sais pas si c'est parce que tu dois être S1 ou quelque chose, mais ça, il faut vérifier. Je suis pas sûr. Mais je pourrais demander si tu veux. Okay, so now as soon as this guy, well, I mean, a bit after this guy turns, I'm going to make him descend down to 3,000. And that should give us some. So it's always a good rule to make sure you keep a separation with the SID altitude, so the departure. Celui de Cézul, Terrien, celui Vulcan, c'est tu, ouais. Bah peut-être que pour celui de Cézul, il faut être contrôleur, je sais pas, je suis pas certain. Air Canada 290, descend 3000.
Descend 3000, Air Canada 290.
Air Canada 290, turn left heading 050 vectors for final.
050, turning left, Air Canada 290.
So I waited a bit to turn this guy because he seemed a bit high and he's a bit fast as well. Air Canada 290, turn left heading 350 to intercept, cleared ILS runway 32 approach. Air Canada 290, turn left heading 350 to intercept, cleared ILS runway 32 approach.
Air Canada 290, turning left 350.
And it seems a bit tight. That should be good.
Air Canada 290, we joined the localizer for 32.
Roger. Okay, so now that he's established, we're just going to, I mean, you can wait or not, but you would hand him over to Tower if Tower was online, and since there's none, I'm going to give him his landing clearance. Air Canada 290, the wind's 330 at 6, clear land runway 32. Air Canada 290, winds 330 at 6, clear land runway 32.
Air Canada 290, clear to land, runway 32.
There you go. So now we can release this tag. The reason I say 330, well, the METAR here says 320 is due to magnetic deviation, which is of plus 10 degrees here in Ottawa. In Montreal, it's plus 20 degrees, for example, so it varies a bit depending on the airport. And we should be able to see him on the tower view on the left bottom corner here pretty soon.
FX 193, we are holding short Bravo, ready for taxi.
FedEx 193, roger, runway 32, altimeter 29907, taxi Bravo, ramp at your discretion. Echo, cross runway 25, hold short runway 32.
Bravo, ramp at our discretion, Echo, cross 25, hold short 32, FX 193.
Actually, it did not open my ground radar for this, so I had to do it by heart. That was interesting. Oh, did he disconnect? Our arrival? What happened? I think we lost our Air Canada 290. I'm not sure what happened here, but we lost him. So that's unfortunate. But most of the job was done, so it's fine. So I do have an exam in OTS in probably a month or so. So this is good practice for me to get my S3 certification. So that's a certification for radar like terminal. So arrival, departures, controllers. And then there's different tiers as well, of course. And Montreal requires a different certification as well. And yeah, but for Ottawa, which is considered a minor airport as well with Quebec and the Montreal region, it's S3 Tier 1, it's called. So, yeah. So we're able to see FedEx, the MD-11, taxiing over there. Do I only get to do ground with S1? So S1, if I remember correctly, yes. Well, you always start. Well, actually, in the Montreal flight region, you start with delivery. So delivery is when you give IFR clearances. You talk to VFR planes as well sometimes, but mostly IFR clearances. And you're going to start at the Montreal delivery. So actually, you're going to start at the big airport. At least that's what I remember. It might have changed, but I think that's what it is. And then you go ahead and go onto ground. So you do Ottawa ground, you can do Quebec ground, then you do tower as well. And then you get a tower exam at Ottawa. And then you can go to Montreal, do Montreal Tower as well later. But basically, you're going to be with an instructor. You're going to do some theory a bit, and you're going to do some sweat box sessions, they call them. So it's basically just controlling robots, but with your instructor. So you're going to be with him, and he's going to guide you. You're going to have the same radar screens I see right now, but you're going to be talking to virtual planes. So it's not real pilots. You're not on Vatsim, but you know, good practice. And then you'll be supervised on the network. And then you might get your solo as well, which is what I'm having for terminal here. And it's a certification. It's where you can practice alone without being supervised on the network to practice for your exam that's going to be coming in the weeks after normally. So basically it's quite a process, but you know, you gradually go from Montreal delivery to Ottawa ground, Montreal ground, and then tower, and then radar control, which is fun. So yeah. Does that mean that I have to wait for tower and ground to be to have delivery? No, you start delivery as soon as you come in, I believe. You start with Montreal delivery. I think that's the first, that's the very first position you do in the Montreal region. There you go. Here's our FedEx MD-11. Crossing runway 25. FedEx 193, call me when airborne. The wind's 330 at 6, clear for takeoff, runway 32.
Call you when airborne, clear for takeoff, 32 FedEx 193.
There you go. So what's interesting with runway 32 is that, of course, it's heading north, and if you know Ottawa's geography, it's actually going to be heading towards the city. So among with all the runways pretty much except runway 25, there's a noise abatement procedure on the air traffic controller side. So it's going to be, you have to wait till 3,000 feet to turn a jet. That is actually pretty common. It's not that it's not that different from what you could expect. It's nothing special really, but basically you have to wait until 3,000 feet for the jet aircraft to turn. For prop aircraft, it's 1,000 feet, if I'm not mistaken. So there's our beautiful plane departing or taking off runway 32. With the terminal behind. And we have a nice sunset starting to appear here.
193, we're airborne, passing 1,100.
FedEx 193 identified. When leaving 3,000 feet, turn left direct 2 key on course and climb 13,000.
Passing 3,000, left direct 2 key on course, climb up to, was that 130, FedEx 193?
A-firm 13,000.
13,000, and we'll make that left hand passing 3,000, FedEx 193.
Okay, so that's why I say when leaving or when passing 3,000. Just make sure he doesn't do the turn too early. And the ceiling of this airspace is 13,000 feet, so that's why we give it that altitude before. But of course, you're going to hand off the aircraft before he reaches that altitude, so the other controller can make him climb higher without having the aircraft stop his climb in the meantime. So there you go, turning left direct 2 here, that's the first point. He's going to Toronto, so trick here, IMABA 9 is the standard route. And I'll be sending him to Unicom in not too long. So since there's no other air traffic controllers directly around me, I don't have to hand off the aircraft to Toronto Center, for example. If they were here, I would do that with them. Boston Center as well sometimes. Montreal Center, of course, whenever they're above me. If you're wondering what this small airport here is, that's Gatineau Airport. It's a bit more north on the Quebec side, since there's a border between Ontario and Quebec, right around here. You'll see it better here on the river. This is the VFR view for the terminal, and yeah, so this is Gatineau. You get some good VFR IFR traffic. You also have another airport here, Rockcliffe, right here. Same thing, lots of VFR traffic. FedEx 193 surveillance services terminated. Monitor Unicom 122.8. Have a great flight.
Monitor Unicom 122.8. Thanks for the wonderful service tonight, FedEx 193.
Okay, so now I'm not talking to that airplane anymore, so that's why I released the tag. The plus here is to say that this is a heavy jet, so we'll have larger distances between him and another plane, for example, as a minimum. In fact, I can give you the distance, and for example, if you had an A320 behind that plane, you would need to have 5 miles as a minimum distance between the two planes. Is that all going to be taught by the instructor? Yep, of course. So it's you're gradually going to learn more and more, and you're introduced by the instructor to a lot of information. You have theory courses, CBTs they're called here, so computer-based training, and you'll see it comes pretty naturally usually if for most people that have the hang of it, and also if you've flown before, you'll definitely know how to do an I-4 clearance, for example. So you get quite a few stuff from flying around the network as well, if you have the chance to do that. You can also observe beforehand, but yeah, it's all going to be taught to you, and you'll be fine. You can go at your own rhythm, just to make sure you put in the work necessary for the results you want, and then it's all about fun and enjoying it through the process, of course. Okay, 1 in, 1 out. We have Brickyard 1262. Well, actually, it's pretty far still, but Brickyard 1262. And that's going to exit Boston Center and come into us pretty soon. Coming from DCA. So Washington. My only flying experience is ATC 24. Okay, that's cool. So, well, actually, I was doing a lot of PTFS and ATC 24 in the past, as you might know. But for sure, it's a good start. I would say, because you do have a fairly long wait time, probably like a few months to a year. Can sound like a lot, but you'll need to be a bit patient on that. Between when you get accepted, when the transfer is accepted, to when you actually can control. It's going to be a bit of a wait, but it's also a good opportunity for you to fly on the network if you have the setup, or at least observe. I would definitely recommend doing that, because it's going to give you a good insight and good preview of what's expected from the pilot's perspective, or the air traffic controller perspective, and you can ask questions already. Or also listening to the stream, for example, can help, or other streams of Canadian controllers. But yeah, just to get the hang of it, and you do have some hang of it in HC24, but it's always, it tends to be very simplified, because of course it's going to be very different from the flight simulator, because you have, once again, we try to be as realistic as possible here on Vatsim, so all the procedures we can find, and any real information, real data we use very efficiently, usually, and that's what's taught to you as well in the air traffic control community. So yeah, I would say, if you can, during this wait time, it's going to seem like a lot, but there's some good demand with not that many instructors, so you do have to wait your turn. And in the meantime, I would say just fly and have fun and observe. Okay, let's take a look at the... So we do have an arrival from DCA, as I said. It's Brickyard 1262. Let me just check who else we have. So, okay, so we do have quite a few arrivals coming in, which is cool. We also have a pre-file flight from Toronto, which you can see top right of your screen here. We have an arrival from Paris, so that's pretty cool. The Air France flight. And then we have another arrival from Toronto, arrival from there's an arrival from Germany, but we're probably not going to get that one. There's an arrival from LaGuardia as well, so which is in flight. Just took off from LaGuardia. And Vatsim is pretty calm this evening, at least in North America. There's some ATC in Florida. There was in LAX and SoCal, but doesn't seem like it anymore. Got Seattle Center online, but yeah, there's not that much ATC this Sunday evening, probably because it's starting to become summer and it's nice out, at least here in Ottawa, so that could be a reason. Montreal has a bit of traffic, so it's nice to see. Alright, so that Brickyard 1262 is perhaps, I don't know how many miles actually. Let's see if we can find him. Yep, there you go. So he's 40 miles from Cyril. So he should be talking to us maybe 5 minutes. Sounds pretty nice. But yeah, unfortunately Toronto Centre, Montreal Centre are not online, which can be explained as well. But we do have Detroit online, Bradley, Boston, and a bit further south we have Atlanta Centre, Jacksonville Centre, Miami Centre. So so that's nice. And SoCal Center just went online again. So LAX is going to be pretty busy, I think, tonight. But the East is pretty quiet. But we'll see. Boston Approach came online pretty recently, so it's always cool for Ottawa.
Arrivals, good evening. Brickyard 1262, 16,000. Requesting the RNF Zulu 25 with information kilo.
Brickyard 1262, Ottawa arrivals, good evening. Altimeter 2997, and I check the RNF Zulu runway 25.
997, Brickyard 1262, good evening.
And Brickyard 1262, squawk ident. Brickyard 1262, you're identified, thank you. So the procedure is when you do have an aircraft with the transponder on, but that wasn't talking to a controller beforehand, you have to make him squawk ident. And the reason is because, you know, just to make sure completely that it is indeed this aircraft you're talking to. Air France 328 appeared on our radar as well. That's VFR traffic here, I believe. 1200, that's the default squawk VFR number. So, it's always a bit weird when you don't have a controller before and you have aircrafts pretty far out, but I'll give them the descent to 6,000 feet for now. Brickyard 1262, descent 6,000.
6,000, Brickyard 1262.
So I give him 6,000 just for departure avoidance purposes, but that's pretty arbitrary. You could give him 3,000 directly. I'm surprised he didn't do the he didn't plan for the Aylex 3-2. That would have been a bit more straightforward, but so it's going to be the RNAV Zulu runway 25. So it's always a good idea to write that down as well in his. Oh, let me not forget to take his jurisdiction. There you go. So in his box right here. So just a small reminder for me. So we actually do have codes in Ottawa for this. So for example, if a plane is landing 25 and he speaks English, it's going to be Yankee. That's a code, which is a bit confusing when you have the Zulu for RNAV Zulu, but you know, I'll put that next to him. So where is our Air France flight? That's a good question. I'm not sure. So all these green lights, by the way, are green lights. Sorry, these green lines are the departure routes that planes can follow and must follow. They must follow one of them. It's not a random waypoint that they follow. Like all the northeast departures must go through tackle or Raiden actually, but those are examples because you do have predefined routes for every departure. And you can think of them as hybrid RNFs. It's kind of like in Toronto, except the waypoints are very further away. But yeah, we do have vectors, as officially that's what they are. And we just give a vector, a heading to the aircraft, for the aircraft to the waypoint, their first en route waypoint. Or second or third if you want to give them a shortcut, of course. And we'll always adapt to any traffic that's surrounding us. So we don't explicitly say it here as route because this map is a hybrid between 2.5 and 3.2, and usually arrivals from the south would do runway 3.2, but basically he's going to follow Texan, then Atvos, and then he's going to do the RNAV Zulu here. If he were to do the RNAV Yankee for runway 2.5 with that same arrival route, I believe he would be doing the Texan transition, but I'm just going to double check that actually. With my navgraph charts. Very useful to always have charts when you're controlling. So yeah, it is Texan. And if it's Zulu, it's Atvos as well. Brickyard 1262, descend to 3,000 feet.
Descend 3,000, Brickyard 1262.
So there's no traffic, it's all clear. I'm gonna make him continue his descent. Gonna study more now. Thanks for your tips, of course. Well, I hope to see you soon again. If you have any other questions, let me know. You can contact me on Discord as well, if you want. Should be a link in the description for that. But yeah, bienvenue à la Fière de Montréal et puis bienvenue sur Vatsim, bienvenue chez Vatcan. Un plaisir de t'avoir et puis merci d'avoir regardé le stream. À la prochaine. Bonne chance pour tes études. Breaker 1162, just want to confirm with you it's the RNAV Zulu runway 25 and not 32, correct?
Correct, RNAV Zulu 25, Brickyard 1262.
Roger. So Brickyard 1262 via Advos transition, you're clearly RNAV Zulu runway 25 approach.
Sorry, Advos cleared, the RNAV Zulu runway 25 approach, Brickyard 1262.
Okay, so Brickyard 1262 is going to make his approach here. Alone. He descended a bit quickly, but I assume that's because he's in the FSS E-Jet, which does not have VNAV, so it's all vertical speed. That's why I did confirm with him that he was aiming for the for runway 25 and not 32, because he was at an altitude here at which he could have definitely done the Alice runway 32. I'm so confused why he didn't do the Alice 32 in the first place, but that's his choice. And Boston Center just went online, so that's good news for us. Should bring a bit of traffic, hopefully. So, sunset here starting in Ottawa. You can see some pink colors in the tower view. And here's our beautiful sun, actually. This is the Ottawa Air Traffic Control Tower. So, Brickyard 1262, winds 350 at 5, clear land runway 25.
Clear land runway 25, Brickyard 1262.
Okay, so he's cleared land. We got WestJet 347, or 437, sorry, that appeared in the tag. Air France 328 Heavy, that's right north here, so it's my pleasure to give him some service after a nice long flight from Europe. And more specifically, Paris. We'll see if he speaks French. You guys won't see this, but if I can get more info on the pilot, perhaps. He's coming from Calgary, so I would be I would be surprised if he does speak French, but we never know. And we'll try to find our Brickyard, our United Airlines Embraer land here in the distance. It's going to be doing runway 25. Be nice if we could get any sort of sequence here, because I haven't really been able to practice that recently, but I think our friends can arrive a bit early. They're all going to go one by one, it seems like, which is fine, but for your information, the sequence would require, of course, a lot of speed, looking forward here, speed instructions, there you go, to maintain the separation between aircrafts, or perhaps create one with a heading. There you go. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see him, but there's a plane landing on runway 25 here. Let's watch his landing. Seems like in the simulator he's appearing as a Delta Airlines, but we'll say that's close enough. All right, just on the marks. That's perfect. And we can see him now on the ground right there. Brickyard 1262, exit right on Echo, and taxi apron at your discretion to the gates. Good night.
Exit at Echo, apron by discretion, Brickyard 1262, good night.
Okay, and one in, one out. Well, you should be getting Air France very shortly here. If he's taking the Aylex, I could definitely give him a shortcut. And that shortcut would be Watto, for sure. So the reason for which the sim puts our E-Jet as a Delta jet is, of course, because it doesn't know if the Brickyard is a Delta or United plane, because in real life Brickyard does both. However, in Ottawa, it's always a United plane. But we can say, oh no, there's been some mess up here and there, and they need to board a Delta jet. Very unrealistic, but you never know. Okay, I'm gonna wait for Air France to give me a call. If not, I'm gonna ask him to give me a call with the contact me feature. I'm probably gonna do that actually. There you go. Contact me is sent.
Ottawa arrival, flew Air France 328.
Air France 328 Heavy, Ottawa arrivals, good evening. Information Kilo, altimeter 29908. And squawk ident for me, please.
Okay, 29908, we'll squawk ident right now, and we're set up for 32 on the RNAV, just to let you know, via Alubo, nice and tight.
Air France 328, roger, you're identified, descends to 3,000 feet.
Okay, your gentleman and a scholar down to 3,000, Air France 328.
Okay, so it's doing the RNAV Yankee runway 32. Said the Ilubo transition, so I'm not going to give him a direct here because it's not really worth it, and I don't want to mess up his approach, especially when it's an RNAV Yankee, which is a tight turn, tight right turn onto the final for runway 32. So I've never seen an Air France do that in real life here in Ottawa. Air Canada do them with their 787s, so it's definitely doable. All right, where's our WestJet? Right about here. Nope. I'm curious to see if this guy's been connected all the way through. If yes, that'd be pretty cool. All right, he has. Very nice. So that guy's been given the squawk code probably by someone in Europe. So once again, we just need to make him squawk ident, and that's it. We got a pre-file flight from Ottawa to Vancouver here on our right side of the screen. Wedge at 615, that'd be nice to see. And there he is. Okay, great timing. 737 MAX 8s. It's doing Celis, Ligo. That's good. I'm probably going to give him 3-2, yeah. Air France 328, you're cleared the RNAV Yankee runway 32 approach, Ilubo transition.
Okay, clear for the RNAV Yankee 32 Alubo transition, Air France 328.
Let's take a look at our WestJet plane here. He should be just in front of us. There he is.
Les arrivées d'Ottawa, bonsoir. Wedget 615, information kilo, on aimerait une affaire pour Vancouver.
Wedget 615, les départs d'Ottawa, bonsoir. Vous êtes autorisé à Vancouver via le départ Ottawa 4. Code au plan de vol, piste 3-2, affiché 6503. Et fréquence de départ 135 décimale 15.
Autorisé pour l'aéroport de Vancouver via le Ottawa 4 départ, route de plan de vol, piste 32. On affiche 6503 et fréquence de départ 135 150, Wedget 115.
Wedget 615, relecture correcte, information kilo, rappelez pour le refoulement de démarrage.
On rappelle prêt à refouler, Wedget 115, merci.
Air France 328, the wind's 350 at 5 clear land, runway 32.
Check the winds, clear to land, 32 Air France 328.
Okay, let's take a look at this heavy Air France land on 3-2. Air France 328, exit right on Kilo.
Right on Kilo, France 328.
Air France 328, taxi Alpha, apron at your discretion to the gate. Good night.
Apron, Alpha apron to the gate. Good night, thanks. 328.
Jet 115 à votre refoulée.
Jeudi 115, Roger. Le répondage à votre discrétion. Faites attention à un 777 qui va circuler dans le tablier pour probablement une porte sur votre gauche.
Passons à vérifier le trafic qui est autorisé à refouler Jet 115.
Okay, I'm not sure where the other Weshet is actually. And I just got my answer. Perfect. There he is.
One approach, good evening, WestJet 437, currently established for our nav Yankee, runway 25.
WestJet 437, Ottawa arrivals, good evening. information kilo, altimeter 29998, and squawk ident for me, please.
Rogers, walking that deck. 437.
So like I assume the RNAV Yankee runway 25, okay. Jet 437, you're identified. Expect the RNAV Yankee runway 25, descent to 3,000 feet.
Descending to 3,000, 437.
Okay, it's a bit low actually.
Wait, just to confirm, you said descend to 3,000 for 437?
Jet 437A firm, that's just when you're ready. You seem a bit low at the moment, but you're clear to descend 3,000.
Okay, Roger, descending to 3,000 for 37.
Jet 437, you're going to be a bit low. That's okay, but if you prefer, I can give you the ILS runway 32 as well. It's going to be a quicker arrival for you.
Okay, I guess ILS 32 will be fine too.
Jet 437, Roger. Expect the ILS runway 32.
Expecting ILS 32, 437.
Roger, 437 via Texan, cleared for the Aylex runway 32 approach.
Via Texan, clear for Aylex 32, 437.
Projet 115, on va être prêt à circuler.
Roger, 615, piste 3-2, l'altimètre 2998, circulez, tablier à votre discrétion. Echo, traversez la piste 2-5, restez à l'écart de la piste 3-2.
Altimètre 2998, tablier à notre discrétion. Echo, on traverse la 2-5, on reste à l'écart de la 3-2, ouais, jet 115.
Not sure why WestJet is going so slowly. It's really low, really slow, so I'm glad I gave him the Aylex, because if not, that would have taken an eternity. Yeah, we have another departure, that's nice. Chance 4255, CRJ to Boston. That's perfect. I'll give him runway 25.
WestJet 437 is capture localizer.
WestJet 437, Roger, winds 350 at 5, clear land runway 32.
Clear for runway 32, 437.
Okay, runway 2204 is now closed since that is nighttime, so no runway lights are available at that time. So the runway is closed during nighttime.
Ottawa approach Air Canada 470, descending through flight level 225 with Kilo, set up for the RNAV Zulu runway 25.
Aircraft 470, Ottawa arrivals, good evening, squawk 1137.
1137 Air Canada 470.
Aircraft 470, you're identified, information Lima, altimeter 29908, sent to 6000.
We'll grab Lima down 6000 Air Canada 470.
Okay, so he's doing the RNAV to runway 25. Ouais, jet 615, à niveau, il attendait, puis c'est 3-2.
Au fait, on attend de 3-2, jet 115.
Okay, we've got a second departure, United 3691 to Newark, perfect. Budget 437, exit right on a Kilo, taxi Alpha, airport enter discretion to the gates, good night.
Left on Kilo, right to Kilo, right on Alpha, and to gate command discretion. Thanks for ATC. Let's check 437.
Ouais, jet 615, rappelez-moi à l'envol, les vents 350 à 5, autorisé à décoller piste 3-2.
On rappelle à l'envers, autorisé à décoller plus 3-2, ouais, jet 115. Jet 115, 1100 pieds en montée.
Jet 615, vous êtes identifié, via à gauche direct Oligo en passant 3000 pieds et montez 3000 pieds.
Passant 3000 pieds, direct Oligo, on monte un 3000 pieds. Jet 115.
Got another departure to Trenton this time, so that's cool. Jet 615 et services de surveillance sont terminés. Gardez l'écoute d'une commande de décimale 8, bonne soirée.
Unicum 122, Jet 115, bonne soirée.
American 470 descend to 3000.
3000, Air Canada 470.
Ottawa Terminal, good day, Jazz 4255, information, Mike, IFR, down to Boston.
Jazz 4255, Ottawa departures, good evening, you're clear to Boston via the Ottawa 4 departure. Flight planned route, runway 25, squawk 6504, departure frequency 135.15.
Right, ATC clears Jazz 4255 to Boston, Ottawa 4 departure, runway 25, squawk 6504, departure frequency 135.15.
Jazz 4255, read back correct, call for push and start.
Alright, couple to start, Jazz 4255.
Ottawa, United 3691, United 3691, requesting IFR to Newark.
United 3691, Ottawa departures, good evening, cleared to Newark via the Ottawa 4 departure, flight planned route, runway 25, squawk 6506, departure frequency 135.15.
United 3691 cleared to Newark via the Ottawa 4, flight plan route, departing runway 25, 6506 in the box, and 3515.0 this frequency for the departure. United 3691, gate 12, requesting start push.
And 3691, Roger, read back correct, information Mike, push and start at your discretion, call for taxi.
Push start, my discretion, call for the taxi, United 3691.
American 470, are cleared for the RNAV Zulu runway 25 approach, Advos transition.
Clear for the runway 25, RNAV Zulu Advos, Air Canada 470.
Oh, hello, it's Osha 3437. Nice to see you. Thanks for the traffic, it was nice getting you here.
Flight control.
Ottawa Terminal, good evening. Husky 324 is an A330. Information Mike, request IFR clears to Trenton.
Husky 324 Heavy Ottawa departures, good evening. You're clear to Trenton via the Ottawa 4 departure. Flight plan route, runway 25, squawk 6507. Departure frequency 135, small 15.
Alright, cleared to Trenton, Ottawa 4 departure, flight plan route, runway 25, squawk 6507, departure on 135.15, Husky 324 Heavy.
Husky 324, read back correct. Information Mike, call for push and start.
Roger.
Husky 324, actually correction, call for taxi.
Alright, we'll call for taxi, Husky 324.
Thanks. Appreciate your support, and I'll see you next time, hopefully. They're going to 470 the winds 03, so at 5, clear line runway 25.
Clear land runway 25, Air Canada 470.
United 3691 taxi.
At 3691 runway 25, altimeter 299er. Taxi, pronounce your discretion. Bravo, hold short runway 25.
Apron, my discretion, Bravo short of 25, United 3691.
And at 3691, the winds kind of changed here. They're still calm at 5 knots, 020 or 030 at 5. Let me know if you want to switch to runway 07 or 32, but that's at your discretion.
I don't think it's going to be an issue. I'll just re-crunch the numbers here real quick. Stand by.
Roger.
Sorry, did you say 020 at 5?
030 at 5.
Stand by. Yeah, we're still good for 25.
Roger. I'm gonna 470 exit right onto Charlie, and once they're across runway 32, taxi, pronounce your discretion to the gates. Good night.
Exit right, Charlie, crossing runway 32, apron discretion, Air Canada 470. Have a good night.
United 3691, line up runway 25.
Keep it going here for 25, line up and wait, United 3691.
United 3691, call me when airborne, the winds 030 at 5, clear for takeoff, runway 25.
Hey, clear for takeoff, runway 25, United 3691 on the roll. Keep your shit in the air.
Roger.
And Ottawa departure, hello, it's United 3691 with you off of runway 25, runway heading to 5000.
United 3691, you're identified. Just make sure you got the correct code 6506, please.
Double checking here.
Ottawa Terminal, Husky 324 is on the west ramp. Ready for taxi, requesting runway 32, please.
3691, turn right direct, or correction, turn left direct E-Clocks on course, climb 3000.
Okay, climb 3000, left turn direct E-Clocks on course, United 3691.
Husky 324, Roger, so it's going to be runway 32 for departure, altimeter 29er, taxi Charlie, Alpha, apron at your discretion, Echo, cross runway 25, hold short runway 32.
Alright, taxi Charlie, Alpha, apron at discretion, and then Echo, cross runway, or hold short runway 25 for Husky 324.
Husky 324, you're clear to cross runway 25, hold short of runway 32 on Echo.
Roger, we're clear to cross 25, hold short 32 on Echo, Husky 324.
Jazz 4255, terminal.
Yeah, Jazz 4255, go ahead.
Jazz 4255, I got a clearance amendment for you, advise ready to copy.
Yeah, we're ready, Jazz 4255.
Jazz 4255, clear to Boston, Ottawa 4 departure, runway 07, balance unchanged.
Ottawa 407, belt and change, Jazz 4255.
United 3691 surveillance services terminated. Change to the en route frequency. Have a great flight.
Okay, over to the dark side, 228, bye-bye.
Husky 324 will need about a minute holding short here.
Roger, let me know when you're ready.
Husky 324 Heavy is ready for departure.
Husky 324, Roger, calling on airborne, winds 030 at 5, clear for takeoff, runway 32.
Call airborne, clear takeoff, runway 32, Husky 324. Ottawa departure, Husky 324 Heavy, 2000, climbing 5000 on the Ottawa 4.
Husky 324, you're identified. When passing 3,000 feet, turn left direct Lorca on course and climb 3000.
Passing 3000, turn left direct Lorca and climb 3000, Husky 324.
Husky 324, surveillance services terminated at change to the en route frequency. Have a great flight.
Changing en route. Have a great night, Husky 324.
Ottawa, good evening. I'm on air 2187, clearance to Lafayette, 8th November.
Owner 2187 Ottawa departures, good evening. You're cleared to Kilo Lima Alpha Foxtrot via the Ottawa 4 departure. Flight plan route, runway 07, squawk 6501. Departure frequency 135.15.
I'm on air 2187, clear to Lafayette, Ottawa 4, flight plan runway 07, squawk 6501, 135.15.
Omener 2187, read back correct, information November, call for push and start.
I'm on air 2187, gate 1, push and start.
Omener 2187, roger, push and start at your discretion, call for taxi.
Roger.
Jazz 4255, we're finally ready for push to start, Aaron. We still have information, Mike on board. I don't know if there's been an updated one.
Jazz 4255, roger, it's information November now. Push and start is at your discretion. Be advised there's traffic on your left. That just pushed, but it's at your discretion.
Roger, we'll wait for him and push to start discretion, Jazz 4255. We'll grab November, thanks.
Roger.
I'm on air 2187, taxi 8 is November.
I'm on air 2187, runway 07, altimeter 29er, taxi apron at your discretion. Charlie, cross runway 32, hold short runway 07.
Apron Charlie cross 320 short 07 on 2999 21.
I'm on air 2187, call me when airborne, the wind 030 at 5, clear for takeoff, runway 07.
Call you airborne 07, clear to takeoff. I'm on air 2187. Ottawa, I'm on air 2187, 1,400, climbing 5,000, Ottawa 4.
I'm on air 2187, identified. Climb 13,000. When passing 3,000 feet, turn left, direct lead tack on course.
Climb 13,000, passing 3,000 left turn lead cycle, minute 12187.
Air 2187, surveillance services terminated. Change to the en route frequency. Have a great flight.
Air 2187, thank you. Good night.
Jazz 4255 for taxi.
Jazz 4255, runway 07, altimeter 29er, taxi apron at your discretion. Charlie, cross runway 32, alternate runway 07.
Alright, taxi apron at discretion, Charlie 32, runway 07, altimeter 2999, Jazz 4255.
Hello. Sorry I missed your chat earlier. Welcome to the stream. Yes, I did change my name to the Canadian controller to be a bit more relevant to Vatsim. But yeah, still me. Don't worry. Jazz 4255, call me when airborne, wind 030 at 5, clear for takeoff, runway 07.
I contact you, airborne, take out runway 07, Jazz 4255. Jazz 4255 with you climbing 2,800.
As a 4255 identified, turn right direct Codex on course, climb 13,000.
Right direct Codex climb 13,000, Jazz 4255.
Jazz 4255, surveillance services terminated. Change to the en route frequency. Have a great flight.
Alright, 128, thanks for waiting around for us. Have a good night, Jazz 4255.
Okay, everyone, we're gonna end the stream here. We won't have more traffic coming in. That was a pretty good dose of traffic, best I've had recently, at least in Ottawa. So I hope you appreciated this stream. Thanks for your support. I'll see you again next time. Have an amazing evening and rest of your, or start of your week, actually. So make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so. Join the Discord server if you want down below, and safe flying.